everyone. This is Rachel with the team here at Clarity Co. here to bring you guys some tech clarity. We'll be talking about our Monday 101 course, talking through board navigation, specifically defining what each item is in Monday.com from a workspace all the way down to a sub item. So let's dive in. Getting started, we have a workspace within Monday.com, and that is the highest level of organization within Monday.com that can be used to manage multiple departments, projects, teams, all in one place or divided based on the way you want to organize things within your system. For our example, think of a workspace as a specific department within an office building. The office building is Monday.com. If we are to compare apples to apples, office building is Monday.com and the department is that specific workspace. So if, for example, I'm looking for something finance related, I would go to the finance department in the office building. Same with Monday.com. If I'm looking for something sandbox related, I'll be in the sandbox workspace for our time during this training. Next up, we have boards. In our workspace, we have a workspace and then we have boards underneath that for that next level down of organization. This is the place where teams can get more granular and manage processes, tasks, subtasks, all in one place. I'm going to go ahead and flip between screens for our example because we have a handy dandy PowerPoint with Clarity Co that we've made to show a better visual of what this looks like from workspace all the way down. Continuing with our example, if a department is compared to a workspace, a board is compared to a filing cabinet or container within that specific department in an office building. So again, you've got Monday.com, the workspace, and then you've got the board underneath that. For our example, you've got the office building, you've got the finance department, and then you've got the container or the filing cabinet that is held within that specific department. Those two items, a filing cabinet and a board, are similar and in our comparison for our example here today. All right, next we're going to talk about groupings. I'm going to go ahead and close this left-hand navigation just for more visual real estate while we're talking through this. Again, that's Control period on the keyboard for quick keys. On each board in Monday.com, regardless of what kind of board you create, you're going to have groups or groupings, as some people refer to it. Groups are groups of items that are sorted together and collected together based on specific criteria, and this can be a variety of ways that you sort your data just based on the options that you have. So it could be people, date, due dates, overdue dates. It could be a process that's start to finish, going from initiation to the closing of a project for project management. It can be based on a status of a project. It can also be based on who's the manager. Just really it depends on your preference and how you would like to organize your items based on the specific groupings on your board. Coming back to our example, we have groups listed here, and these are compared to organization. As you can see in the picture here, we have a specific filing cabinet drawer with a specific method of organization that is used to have all the files housed together. Think of groups or groupings like this in Monday.com. They are specifically organized in a way to house files together in an orderly fashion. All right, next up, after groups, we have items. In each group on your Monday board, you have a list of items that comes into play. Items are defined as a line item within a group on a board. Specifically, what that looks like is how you guys are going to organize it. This could be tasks, this could be projects, this could be records, this could be client names. Just depends on what you guys would like that board to function as far as organization. And again, that goes from workspace down to board, down to group, down to item. Jumping back to our example, we have items which are listed as similar to a data file. So again, if we're talking through all of this start to finish, boards are the container, groupings are the way we organize the items within that container, and items are that specific data file within that container. So that file can contain a variety of papers, and that is where our sub-items come in next. That's more details that we will talk through once we jump back to our Monday board. Jumping back into our board, we are going to talk about sub-items finally. Expanding our left-hand navigation menu one more time, our workspace is our sandbox space. I have a folder here that is listed specifically as my sandbox, and then I have a board underneath that that is contained within a folder called the training board here, which is what's pulled up over here on the right-hand side. Within this board, I have groupings, which are listed here by training group 1, 2, and 3. In each of these groupings, if I was to expand it, you can see there are other items that are sorted based on my personal preference or based on how our team has decided to organize it. Underneath each individual item, you can get even more granular by adding sub-items. Sub-items are a way to be even more detailed and even more specific within a task, within a project, or whatever it might be based on how you guys identify you want to organize your sub-items and tasks, and it allows for even more details. So this is where the individualized papers come in, going back to our example. In our example here, we've got sub-items, which are the details, as demonstrated here by this individual paper. The sub-items allow us to be even more detailed in Monday.com, depending on how we need to slice and dice data or depending on what the project need is. Last but not least, we're going to talk through columns. On every single board, there are columns, and there are a variety of columns that you can add to each board based on what you need as far as data points or how you need the board to function. To add additional columns in your Monday board, you click on that plus mark here. You can type in the search bar here for what kind of column you need, select from the pre-populated ones that are here, which are based on essential columns or very useful columns, and then additionally, you can click on the More button and see a variety of columns that are listed here depending on what you guys need. The cool feature about Monday.com is they have added a lot of AI properties within the system, which can automate work for you and your teams depending on what your needs might be. Jumping back to our example, we have columns which are the same as conditions, comparing this example to our data file. So the conditions that we're looking for, first and last name on the form, that's the exact same data that we are using the columns for in Monday.com. I know that was a lot of content. Thanks for hanging with me. That's all that we have for you now. Be sure to reach out to our team at Clarity Co. if you need additional tech clarity, whether that's support, tips, tricks, ideas on how to maximize your Monday.com, or additional builds that you need some creative minds to work on. Until next time.